My name is Blake Melizia. I'm in Mr. Stein's class 606. My unit today is Ecosystems, and my lesson is my second lesson of the week for Natural Selection. I will be teaching in a 12 to 1 to 1 class with 12 students, 1 teacher, and 1 paraprofessional. I will also be focusing on an ADHD student. My 3 learning outcomes are to understand the concept of adaptation, to interpret line graphs, and distinguish between biotic and abiotic factors. I will also have 2 Common Core state standards. In addition, I will have a next generation science standards where we can be able to evaluate the evidence for the role of group behavior on individual and species chances to survive and reproduce. My central focus is for students to understand and apply the concept of adaptation through natural selection. A few key terms that I want my students to focus on throughout the duration of the lesson are abiotic, biotic, natural selection, adaptation, organism, habitat, and ecosystem. This will fall under my language and communication. Materials that will be needed are my PowerPoint, videos, visual representation, assorted manipulatives. The way I will adapt to my class is I will have students will receive a scaffold lesson, students will receive frequent breaks, and students will be checked for understanding. The way I would have my manipulatives is I will have my students take from a box of seashells where they will have different type of forms to scoop out the seashell for their selection. One, we have a cup. It would be easier for the student to scoop up any shells and take them out of the box. On the other hand, a scissor is more difficult to pull up any shells. The students will then realize that their top three ways of scooping up shells for natural selection would be the 2 clips and the scooper. The way I will accommodate my students are 1, I will have my students, my 1 ADHD student will have a vocabulary and definition list. Throughout the lesson, they will have the opportunity to write down the definitions without having to actually write down the key term. Whenever they hear the key term, they will write down any information they know about that term. At the end of the class, students will also have the chance to receive a set of class notes with all the definitions underneath. I will also assess my student on his class participation. This is a Google form that I created, a Google spreadsheet, that I created, where the student where I will track their class participation grade. It will be on a scale of 1 through 10. And if I feel the student is deserves more points, I can always go back into the spreadsheet, change their number, and the graph will change as is. I will also have a formal assessment at the end of the class where the student will have an evolution by natural selection sheet. It will describe what happened in the figures 1, 2, and 3, and is the population of mice different in figure 3 than in figure 1? And then they would answer the questions below. Thank you.